Time in YouTube, and welcome back to Deck Profiles. Today we are looking over a build for Mega Charizard EX. Kinda excited for this one because let's be honest here, Charizard is an amazing Pokemon. Whether he is actually playable or not, that does not matter. People are going head over heels for this card, and I'm just as bad of a sucker. I literally just traded with Curious Cleffa for one of these bad boys, so either way, let's look at the deck. So let's start off with Mega Charizard EX to start off with. 220 HP isn't too bad. It's not the most bulky Mega Pokemon, but he is still Charizard, so that immediately warrants out that factor. His attack, Crimson Dive, is one of the strongest attacks currently in the game, boasting a 300 attack power that is going to one-shot anything in the game. The only downside to it is, for one, it costs you 2 fire and 3 colorless. 5 energy drop, that is intense. But it also does 50 damage to Charizard, and unfortunately, being as you only have 220 HP, you don't have a lot of time to use this attack. It's not like you're going to be able to set one up and sweep, or at least not always. But with that, let's look at the rest of the deck. Now again, shout out to Curious Cleffa here, because she did trade us over 2 Full Art Shamans for the series, and this is phenomenal because they just have so much more flow to them than the regular ones do. So very huge shout out, thank you very much, Cleffa. Shaman, as always, has 110 HP. It's a basic type Pokemon, colorless as well. It has the ability set up, when you play this Pokemon from your hand, you get to draw 6 cards, or draw your hand back up to 6 cards. So very essential, because we are going to be ditching a lot of cards in this deck, and you're going to see why in just a few moments. And you also have Sky Return. Likelihood is you're not going to use this unless you really have no other way to get Shaman out of the active position. It's going to cost you 2 colorless energy, it's going to do 30 damage, and you get to return it to your hand, with all cards attached to it, of course. We do have the regular Charizard EX, which is actually a very good card on its own. 180 HP, Fire-type Pokemon with Wing Attack, 3 colorless energy, does 60 damage, so not too much, but with Combustion Blast doing a natural of 150 damage, costing you 2 fire, 2 colorless, you're going to do some damage. Only downside to Combustion Blast is it does, you can't use it on the next turn. But with that, that's why you're using Mega Charizard, right? Right. Now, one of the partners we're running is Volcanion, 130 HP basic, Fire-type Pokemon with Power Heater. This thing doesn't do enough damage at the start, but what's amazing is if we throw some Fire Energies into the discard pile, we can start setting up 3 Pokemon essentially all at once. Volcanion getting an energy turn 1, and if we've ditched 2 turn 1, we can put those onto the fellow Charizards in the back, and we're good to go. If we need it though, we do have Steam Artillery, 3 Fire Energies. It's going to do 100 damage. So nothing over the top, it's not going to one-shot, but we're able to take out some things that may not may hinder our EXs. Lastly, we do have one Hoopa EX, 170 HP, Psychic-type Pokemon. We're only using Scoundrel Ring. We're not looking at Hyperspace Fury. We get to search our deck for 3 basic Pokemon. When Hoopa is played, we get to reveal them, put them into our hand, and shuffle afterwards. So not bad at all. Hoopa is fantastic. It lets us get the Shamans, the Charizards, the Megas. It's great. Now for the meat of the deck. Now, like I say in all my videos, please note that I am not a professional deck builder. I do not go to tournaments. I do not go out of my way of building competitive decks. I do the best I can with what I've got and the knowledge that I have. So if you think you can build this deck better in some way, shape, or form, please leave a comment in the section below where I can read your thoughts, read what you think of, and sometimes it builds decks for future time where I can showcase decks in a better format. I did get information from the Snorlax GX deck, for instance, where someone suggested Max Potion for the ones that are going to be used as decoys. Well, that's a great idea. You know, adding that card in just gives us longevity. Same idea for these. If you ever have a suggestion for these decks, please don't hesitate to let me know. Again, it may open my eyes up to a card that I would never have thought of prior. Anyway, we're going to start off. A lot of people don't like running 4 Mega Turbos. I needed to in this deck, at least the way I've tested this deck, for the simple fact of you're ditching a ton of energy to get the thing running properly. So 4 Mega Turbos just means I can hit those Mega Charizards a lot faster. Or if I have to ditch one, I'm not threatened to lose it. I am running 2 Professor's Letters. This way I can get 2 basic energies in my hand, ditch them based on energy, or based on ways we're going to showcase in just a moment, or attach them to the Pokemon necessary at the moment, at the given time. We're running 4 Trainer's Mail. Pretty much look at the top 4 cards see another trainer card, grab it. It's good. It's awesome. Everybody knows it. Same thing goes for Ultra Ball. Sack 2 cards. This is where you're going to sack your fire energies to. This way you can grab your Pokemon, whether it be your Charizards, your Hoopas, your Shaymins, whatever necessary to get yourself going. We have 4 VS Seekers. Again, grab our good old supporters. Now, here's a card that I'm really enjoying the artistic value of it, and is why I've switched it out instead of the Super Rod. You guys can easily intertwine this with Super Rod or Brock's Grit, whatever you prefer. I like Brock's Grit because it does hit a little additional, like, it hits 6 instead of 3. It gets me my Pokemon back, it gets my energy back. I like Brock's Grit a lot, and it's VS Secretable. So if I happen to have to sacrifice it early in the game, it's not a big deal. I can VS Secret at a more opportune moment and get those cards back when I need them. I'm running 2 Lysanders in this one. I didn't find one Lysander was enough for Charizard. He needed to have that additional draw, because a little bit of stall is never a bad thing, and when we're ready to attack, I want to hit their biggest threat right away. So having 2 just gives me that opportunity to hit them a little faster. We're running 3 ends because we need a lot of draw support. Again, we have a massive hitter on the field, and we need to get that energy out to it quickly. The only way to do that is to run as much draw support as we can. So not only are we balancing 3 ends, we're balancing 4 Sycamores as well. So 7 cards right there that should get us our card draw potential. Hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully it'll do us the job that we want. Now, I'm running Olympia over Switch for the simple fact of, like I said with Brock's Grit, this is intertwinable. You can go with Escape Rope, you can go with Switch, you can do whatever you like, as long as you have your preference. I like Olympia because not only do I get a little bit of healing, so I can heal off a little bit of that damage from the Crimson Dive, but I can go for a VS Secret for this. If I happen to ditch this early game or use it early game and I need it later on, I still have that opportunity to get it back. Whereas if I use a Switch or an Escape Rope, I don't have that. Now again, the downside is I do have to lose my supporter for the turn, which also could be crucial. So again, it all comes down to your preference and your needs of the game. If you're building this deck, please keep everything like that in mind. We are running Scorched Earth here. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard a fire or fighting energy and draw 2 cards. So I can ditch my fire energy to this, get a couple additional cards, hopefully make myself a better hand, else, you know, it would have been for naught. But the other stadium you can run is Shrine of Memories. Because of the Crimson Dive, you don't always want to knock it out. Like if I, for example, am playing up against a Bunnelby, it's not necessarily a good idea to go for a Crimson Dive, do 300 damage to the Bunnelby, take it out, and have 50 damage to myself, and then my opponent come in with a big hitter. I could easily go for a Combustion Blast. I'm not going to use it next turn because I can easily go for the Crimson Dive, and it's an option to you. I like giving you these options based on things I've seen other people do and things that I've experienced. I like Scorched Earth just for the consistent draw support, and it does partner really well with Volcanion. We're running 3 Charizard Spirit Links because we only are running 3 Mega Charizards, so there's really no necessity to run 4. At least I don't see it. And we are running 2 Floatstones for the good old Pokemon that can't retreat quickly. Next up, I'm running 4 Double Colorless Energy. We want to get those energies onto Charizard as quick as possible. Not to mention, if necessary, I can drop one onto the Shaymin, set up a Sky Return, get a little bit of chip damage off while saving my Shaymin for later. Lastly, I'm running 8 Fire Energies. I would suggest getting a little bit more, but I didn't know where to cut. But 8 energies will do the trick. It'll do a fantastic job of getting the energies onto Charizards and hopefully getting those KO wins. But with that, that is the deck. Please leave your opinions in the comment section below. What you guys think, what you guys would change. Again, we're going to go into 2 matches, see if we can get ourselves some W's. Otherwise, it's just for fun, right? Either way, let's get on to this and see if Mega Charizard has what it takes to win in Pokemon TCG Online. Alright guys, game number 1 is against Leo Silva, playing Electric, Dark, Steel, and Colorless. I don't know what I'm about to play against, but whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be cool. If it's Steel type, it could be... I don't know. Would you like to go first? Yeah, let's go first. I love going first. And we have a Volcanion up front, which is not a bad card to say the least. Our opponent has no basics, so that actually adds additional value to our matchup. Volcanion in the front is going to be huge, it's going to be crucial, it's going to be amazing. We are going to say done. We have no additional Pokemon. We can get a Shaman and a Hoopa on the following turn, though. And we do see that it's going to be Zoroark's Abstrika. That is going to be interesting for sure. Thankfully, Charizard is not weak to electricity in the card game. He is only weak to water, which is beautiful. Which is very, very beautiful. I do want to draw an additional card. It's going to be a Trainer's Mail. We see the Cobalion up in the front, which is not bad at all. In fact, I can... Normally, I would sacrifice my fire energy, but in the current... Hey, get up there. Get up there! The game literally does not want me to put that fire energy on my Volcanion. Put it there. Thank you. We are going to actually opt to go with the Trainer's Mail. I'm going to sacrifice. I do have an Olympia now in the discard pile as well, which is very, very crucial. Actually, I could have opted to Ultra Ball away something else. There is no Hoopa, so that is very, very big to note. Okay. I have very little card draw. I've already played my energy for the turn. Go with the Charizard. If my opponent decides to end, that'll be beautiful for us. I can get this good old Spirit Link off of me. I can get that double colorless energy down if my opponent doesn't decide to do it. We're going to have to stall out a little bit. It's unfortunate, but it's true. My opponent can easily go for a Quick Guard here. It's not going to do any damage, but it is going to stall out the turns regardless. And he does just go for that Quick Guard. Now we get a Lysander here. Not a good start for us. But my opponent cannot go for the Quick Guard this turn. So I'm just going to go for the Power Heater. End the turn. It's not going to be a big deal. He can protect all he wants. And we're going to see what we can do in the next turn. Unfortunately, we are dead drawing right now. We do see Enhanced Hammer stall out our Charizard, so unfortunately the double colorless energy is gone. Our opponent's going to be able to get 40 damage now due to the Fighting Fury Belt onto our Volcanion. We are able to get 40 damage ourselves, but unfortunately we're not getting any additional cards to help out this battle. So we're going to get some damage off on this Cobalion. Being as it's weak, it's a good little bit of damage, but not enough, considering there is nothing in the discard pile for us to warn. Now, the reason I didn't go for the Shaman was because the likelihood of me getting cards that wouldn't matter was huge. And with my opponent going for a Quick Guard here, okay, I got a Float Stone, which doesn't help me either. I'm still stuck. I'm going to go for a Power here. I'll hit my opponent, no problem. And we're going to be in the same predicament we've been in the last couple turns. I have a Float Stone now, so my opponent can't knock me out easily. I can easily retreat into the Charizard if necessary. But we are not getting this thing powered up. It is very slow right now. We're going to see an Ultra Ball come from my opponent, which is very big for him because this could be the big game changer. He did not play the Zebstrika. He got rid of an energy retrieval as well. And he's going to get that Shaman. So now he'll be able to get some card draw, maybe get a supporter to help both of us out. I don't know, maybe he'll go for a Sycamore. It might just end up being us waiting until we can get a draw support. There are 7 of them in the deck. Hopefully we can land something, or a Stadium, but again, I need energy to draw as well. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts, but nothing concrete right now until we can get this game rolling. Thankfully, my opponent didn't have a fantastic start either, but we are going to see that end. Hopefully he does go for it, and we'll be able to get ourselves into a better position. He goes for the Float Stone onto the Shaman. Good play on my opponent's part. And he does end. This is very good for us because our hand can finally get back into the deck. We're not going to lose the Turbo. We're not going to lose the Lysander. We have a ton of energy. Have another Charizard. I need some other cards, though. Unfortunately, we do need another card. An Ultra Ball would be great because then I could start setting up our Pokemon with Power Heater. My opponent has to go for the Revenge Blast right now. And he's going to start setting up that Shaman for another attack, I guess. Maybe saving the energy for later. But we're going to take 40 here. Got another hit in us still. We're going to get a Professor's Letter, which is going to do absolutely nothing. At this range, I am just going to continue to set up our one Charizard. I'll be able to get it going on the following turn. I'm actually going to Professor's Letter here, so I do not draw additional energy. If my opponent decides to end, that is his prerogative. The Professor's Letter is gone. I'm not going to drop the Volcanion. There's way too much bench space pressure right now already. We are going to go for the Power Heater. It is just going to hit him for 40. But next turn I can switch out into my Charizard, take first prize, bait. I'm going to be waiting until he can switch out. So that Quick Guard, we're going to wait till he attacks me before I switch out. If he goes with a Quick Guard right now, I can switch out into my Charizard. I have the energy to do it. If he decides to go for the Revenge Blast, or sorry, that's if he goes for Revenge Blast. He's actually going to go for the Charizard here. Good play on my opponent's part. I cannot switch out. I'm in a bad position, and he can easily just go for a Quick Guard. He could easily Revenge Blast, as he does. But at the range we're at, I could easily just drop a double colorless energy down and say, retreat, go into my real Charizard that's actually attacking. At this point, I kind of want to go for the Scorched Earth over the supporters. This is going to be weird, but I can actually get my energy out of here while also setting up my Charizard later on. So we are going to go for a nice double colorless energy drop here. We are going to ditch a Fire Energy. I am going to get the N now, so I'll be able to support as well here, which is really good, actually. I am going to easily just retreat, go into my Charizard. My opponent has attacked, so I can easily go for that. And I'm not going to use the N. That's going to seem weird, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to easily just go for a Wing Attack, which is going to knock out this Cobalion, get us our first prize in this match. Still no Charizard, Mega Charizard or anything like that, but we are getting really close to setting up that Magic 5 energies. My opponent has the Blitzel up. We need a Lysander now, and unfortunately we do not have one in the discard pile. No VS Seekers used yet either. My opponent has decided to add the energy to the Shaman, maybe get some chip damage off. We do see a Sycamore, so my opponent has gotten rid of his Rourke, which is cool for me, I guess. Whew, I don't really know what my opponent is going for yet. He has actually had to stall out. We are going to get a Mega Charizard, which we can now play. No, don't play that yet. We can go for another energy drop here. And let's go for a Scorched Earth. Why not? I don't need to use the Professor's Letter just yet. I got an N and a Scorched Earth, so nothing that I cared about. Really, nothing that I cared about. I'm just going to simply... You got 60 HP. I do have to go for the Combustion... Oh no, I can just go for a nice Wing Attack. It'll take him out. Boom. Boom. Done. He can't go for his attack because his Shaman will be the only Pokemon in the active position. If he does that, that'll be the game. Charizard, not getting his Mega Charizard out yet, but you can see the Charizard EX is still a far stronger Pokemon than necessary. Discarding an energy is going to be hitting our double colorless, so I cannot go for the Mega Charizard again, but it also means that my opponent does not need to attack. We are going to get the good old Ultra Ball here. I have not seen a Mega Turbo yet either, have I? No. There's 4 Mega Turbos in here as well. I'm gonna drop... Let's go with the Professor's Letter. See if I can get those energies. There's 2 more. Don't need to draw them. Let's ditch 1. I'm looking for a Mega Turbo. No Mega Turbos. No VS Seekers, nothing like that. I can drop an energy onto our Charizard. I'm going to Mega Evolve. And I think I'm going to Sycamore. Because I can win this game if I can get 2... yes. I can win this game if I get 2 Mega Turbos right now. And it's worthwhile to get it. I got 1. Still better than nothing. I got 1. We can drop the Charizard here. I'm going to opt up to sacrifice my double colorless energy. This is a risky play. Normally I wouldn't do it, but again, I am just looking for a way to get that other turbo. And like I said, if they're prized, they're prized, but I have a feeling that they're not. Let's go for it. Get those cards. Shaman's in. We did not. Oh, yes, we did! We got it! Yes! I knew the risk was going to pay off. Charizard here is claiming a win for the match. It was a stalling match, but needless to say, we took a win. Charizard got that 300 damage off. We did manage to get 3 energies onto it, all fire by the end of it, even after losing 2 double colorless energies, which does hurt, does slow you down really badly, but you know what, we still managed to come through. Now, hopefully in the next match we're not as stalling, we get up into a nice, clean matchup, but Charizard can win. Charizard may not be the best at all times, but it is Charizard. He's amazing. And let's see how game number 2 goes. Alright, let's go. And match number 2 is against Beamic999 playing a Psychic and Dark deck, probably Yveltal. I've seen it a ton of times throughout this training of me playing these decks, so hopefully we can try and take it on. I have a feeling with our high energy cost, though, it'll be very hard to take on Yveltal Garbodor right now. But we have to do our best. We're going to lead with that Volcanion. We have the opportunity to play our Charizards in the back. We can go for an Ultra Ball into a Shaman or into a Hoopa, which is probably a better choice. We have a few options here, which is very nice. Our opponent is going to be able to go first, though. We see an additional card into the back. And my opponent did happen to pick up that good old Squirtle deck box. We unfortunately have not picked up the box, but we did get the sleeves. I like the sleeves. They're pretty. The boxes are actually fantastic too. The quality that they are putting into these sleeves and everything now has been fantastic. And I hope that they keep up with that, because it is very fun to play with your favorite Pokemon on their decks. Hopefully they do up all the starters eventually, not just the Kanto ones. We're going to see a Floatstone onto the back, Trubbish, and my opponent seems to have a very bad hand. I'm going to actually opt to drop a Fire Energy onto my Volcanion. I'm going to go for the Energy drop here, or sorry, the Spirit Link drop there. I'm going to ditch the Sycamore and the double colorless energy. It's a bad play to ditch that sucker, the double colorless energy, but I do need to get my opportunity to get some cards here. And I'm not going to lose that opportunity when it's fully in my grasp. So we are going to grab a Shaman, another Charizard, and a Mega. The only one I will not be able to play is the Mega Charizard, but that is okay as well. I will be playing the Charizard first, and then I'll go into the Shaman, so hopefully we can get something to discard some energy, and then on this turn be able to start charging up some of these good old... I did not. Actually, I did. I got the VS Seeker, which is huge, but I am going to have to lose a Charizard for it. That's fine. It comes at a cost. I'm going to lose another double colorless energy as well, but I can start setting up Charizards. I got Mega Turbos. I've got a whole bunch of ways to get this, and I did get another Mega Charizard as well. So, with that being said, let us go for that Power Heater. I don't want to use the Professor's Letter just yet. I'm going to go with this guy and this guy. Now, both of our Charizards have an energy on them. We're setting up nicely. I can start putting a double colorless energy onto that back Charizard. Hopefully getting some additional ways to ditch some of these energy, which would be nice. My opponent has gone another turn unable to play. So we're going to just drop Charizard down. There is no way to get that energy into the discard, though. I'm going to drop the double colorless energy, and we're going to end. And I have no other option. No other option. We do get a Scorched Earth now, which is very good for us. And I can Floatstone up the Volcanion now, which means I can get it out of that active position for free. Scorched Earth is going to come up. Go for my good old Trainer's Mail, which will net me the Professor's Letter, which is perfect, because now I'll be able to get some Fire Energy into the discard pile with the Ultra Ball. Get another Charizard going here as well. And we're looking like we're in really good shape here. Ditch these fires. And I can grab a second Mega Charizard, evolve it, and then Volcanion can start sending both of them up as well. So here we go, Power Heater goes off, gets another 20 damage down onto this Trubbish, and we are going to be able to get both of these Charizards set up. It is unfortunate that my opponent is having such a bad hand, but you gotta look at it in this way. We are not really showcasing what my opponent can do. We're trying to showcase how fast we can play. And right now, we're what? Turn 2? We got 4 energies on one, 2 energies on another, and a Volcanion that's set up to attack as well. So we're doing alright for a Charizard deck. We need 1 more energy on the Charizard, who can then retreat. We need to get that good old Yveltal out of there. We do have the Lysander. No, we do not have the Lysander. I thought we did ditch that, but we did not. Our opponent does get a setup. The Yveltal now has an energy on it. Unfortunately, the active Trubbish does not have any way of getting out of the active position. And Anstammer is going to slow down my Charizard, unfortunately. So that is 3 double colorless energies I have down there, which is very unfortunate. I have no fire energies either. Likely it is I will be going for the Sycamore on this turn. He did not get an energy off of the Max Elixir, which is huge. He's having a bad draw. We are losing the Scorched Earth, though, and we're losing our hand. This is actually very, very bad for us right now. We have no card draw. We do need to top deck something quick, or my opponent can easily take this game back. Unfortunately, cannot attack. We get a Mega Turbo, which is like the last thing we need right now. We are going to go for a Power Heater. We're going to get an additional 20 damage down to the Trubbish. Has 10 more HP left, and then we'll be able to take it. Our opponent is taking this opportunity, though, to set up that Yveltal. He's got 2 energies on it now, which can do 60, which, against one of our Charizards, is very crucial. He can easily Lysander one of them up and take it out. Yveltal is pretty strong. Actually fully heals the Trubbish, hoping to stall it a little longer. We are getting a Brock, which is going to get me 1 card. We are actually just going to have to go for the Power Heater once more. I'm in a very bad pickle for the simple fact of 3 of my double colorless energies are gone. It was a rush that I did. Unfortunately, it will be a kicker in my gameplay, but it was something I had to do. I thought I could easily set up. My opponent had the cards to do it, and unfortunately, it just doesn't pay out. This Yveltal could be a problem as long as this Pokemon is your active. Each Pokemon tool card has no effect. So at least right now, my Volcanion can use the Float Stone, but if it decides to come in, I will not be able to retreat out without sacrificing my energy. He's actually going to disrupt me further by getting rid of my fire energy on my Volcanion, so I can't damage this thing, and I have to waste the energy on Volcanion as well. Thankfully, I do have the Mega Turbo, though, so it doesn't matter too much. I just get to put it onto a Charizard in the back. I'm going to go for that Power Heater again. Get another 20 damage down onto that Trubbish. Again, not in a good position. We're both top decking right now. We are both having bad hands. My opponent has shut me down completely with that Delinquent. He did get a Sycamore though, so this is a very perfect time for him to take advantage of this game. And I think if he wants to, he can come back. He does have an active Garbodor, so my abilities are shut off. But thankfully, the 2 Pokemon that have abilities are already in play, so it doesn't really matter on my side. Garbodor does not shut me down. Whereas the Yveltal will, if it gets a chance to come in. The Trubbish is still out in the active. We can at least get a good old thing here, I guess. And we're going to get another 20 damage off. No energies, no nothing. But we have gotten a little bit of damage here. The downside of Volcanion is it does force you to start powering up 2 Charizards. If I could have used those Mega Turbos that I had received earlier, I could have used those 2 energies, put them onto my Charizard, and have already been attacking. So there are some downsides. Like I said, I'm not a perfect deck builder. I don't ever state I am, but what I'm trying to do is showcase a nice idea. Think of it as it will, and again, I want to hear what you guys have done, because Mega Charizard is a fantastic Pokemon, and I'd like to hear what you guys have done with it. But that being said, my opponent now has a double colorless energy on that back Yveltal, has the ability to switch, so he's going to be able to take out my Volcanion now, which is going to be a nice clean prize. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20. He needs another 10. Oh, he decides to Y-Cyclone instead. This could actually be a game breaker here, because if his Yveltal, he puts the double colorless energy on the Shaman. I am still in a very bad position, because I keep drawing the cards that I don't need. I really desperately need a draw support. Unfortunately, I only have one End and 2 Sycamores left. My opponent has done a fantastic job of pressuring me down. It was my own fault for rushing, but that is fire. You're supposed to go quickly, and if you can't, well, there is that. We are going to actually save my Volcanion because he is necessary for this game. And I'm going to actually opt to lose the third Charizard here. Heal up. I don't really need to damage. I do need that Volcanion in case my energy hits the discard pile, because I really don't have any other way of getting it up right now, as I have lost, what, 3? No, just the 1 turbo. Maybe that was a misplay. Could have gotten a little bit of damage off on it. But it's okay. My opponent does play a Yveltal baby with the Oblivion Wing form, so he'll be able to grab Dark Energies from the discard pile. Doesn't have any right now, but that is besides the point. My opponent will probably just go for an Evil Ball here. It does 60 damage to my Charizard. Not much I can do at this point. I will probably have to sacrifice this Charizard. It'll give me some time to build up. Give me some time to recalculate my strategies. He's actually got another double colorless energy onto that Yveltal. It's going to do a lot more damage now. 100 flat. We've only got another turn left with this Charizard. And I need a supporter. I keep getting Float Stones, which is not going to help me. I can drop that down. But unfortunately, I'm not in a position to say, hey, let's go. I am going to lose this Charizard, which is not a big deal. I can easily recall it with the Brock Skrit, which is why I haven't used it yet. At the same point, I like to make my opponent feel like I've got something in the back. If I have a bare hand, it's useless. Like, he knows I've got nothing. Whereas if I've got one card, he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know if it's something that could harm him. He does go for another Sycamore, though. He does decide to ditch a Yveltal and a Yveltal EX. We see the Fighting Fairy Belt come onto our opponent's Yveltal EX. And this is just one mess. Unfortunately, I have no real way of attacking. Like, I can bring in my Volcanion now, get a little bit of damage off to counteract the Fighting Fury Belt. He has no other attacker, though, which is good. Like, no main attacker. So if I can take care of this big guy, I got a couple turns to kind of recalibrate my turns, and it's okay. But I can't take care of anything while he's Y-Cycloning me. So the Charizard does go down. He's going to be able to put that double colorless energy on someone else. It's probably going to be this guy right here. Yes, it is. And unfortunately, I have to go... He is pretty much future-proofing his team right now. This Yveltal does not plan to stay around. But we are going to get a Lysander out. And I want to take care of that good old Trubbish. If I'm going to take anything out, I'm going to at least claim something here. Power Heater is going to get our first prize of the game. We're not out of this. And now we have a Lysander in the back. We got a Mega Turbo, which is not going to help us at all. We have no Fire Energy in the discard pile. It's a card at least. At least I've got it out of that prize counter, but it didn't help us. It could have been real crucial, but unfortunately it just didn't pay off. With that though, Yveltal putting pressure on me, can easily one-shot me now. 20, 40, 60, 80 damage, plus the Fighting Fury Belt's 90. Yeah. And like I said, he has that Shaman set up with Sky Return. He has the Yveltal up with Pitch Black Spear. This guy has done a phenomenal job of setting up his entire bench without having to worry too much of the damage. Now, I am in a very bad position, so I'm going to put up my Hoopa. It does have the Float Stone, so I can retreat if I get a double colorless energy here. I don't, though. I grab another Charizard, which is very bad for us. I do get a Mega Turbo going off here, which is going to net this Fire Energy. I can continuously set up, but I'm in a very bad position. I can't risk using my Brock Skrit yet. I guess I could have, and that way I could have netted those 3 Pokemon back without losing a turn. Because if I can get a Sycamore right now, I'm going to use it. Hope to get that energy draw, be in a perfect position. We're going to see a Brock Skrit come from my opponent's side. He's going to be able to get 3 of his Pokemon back. All those Yveltal, those 2 Yveltals, the Trubbish, they're all going to come back. They're all going to be a nightmare now. He'll be able to get another Yveltal EX onto that bench line, and he'll be able to kind of stimulate this good old-fashioned max damage. Because he can continuously... Sorry about that. He can easily continue going for the Y-Cyclone on the main one, doing chip damage. That's all he needs to do is chip my entire team. And then when this guy's set up and ready to go, it's done. It's game over. And like right now, he only has Evo Ball. It'll be 60, 70 damage. But, oh, never mind. It's going back up to that 100 mark. 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. It's 110. But again, he can easily... He goes for that Y-Cyclone. Just like I said, 100 damage is nothing. He's chipped me. He's going to put that double colorless energy now onto that bench Yveltal in the back. He just needs a dark energy. He'll be able to attack again with it. And we're in a very bad position. We have a trainer's mail. We might get lucky here. And we do. We go for the Sycamore. Because 14 cards, I'm going to need this Sycamore. So we're not out of this yet. Brock Script didn't need you. Okay. We can come back. Unfortunately, my opponent has this game in the bag. We're going to just opt to put this guy right here. My Shaman does not have an ability, so it is a useless card right now. I am going to retreat. We are going to go for the first of these Charizards, or these Yveltals. I have a Lysander, so I can grab the second one as well. But we're going to get both of these prizes right here. Fire Energy is good. Double Colorless Energy is even better. I have a Mega Turbo in the back. I can easily set up my Charizard here. This Yveltal decided to come up on its own accord. Does get that extra energy down. Does get the Fighting Fury built down. Does not matter though. I can easily Turbo, get this Charizard going. And I think we might be able to turn this game around. We might be able to turn this game around. Now, he'll be able to knock this one out. I don't know. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're still going to lose this. I'm not sure. It's going to be a very close matchup. We do see the Parallel City. Our opponent is forcing our damage down. That's not going to matter. He is going to get rid of that Shaman, though, because he does not want me taking it as a prize. That would be his best play here, is to eliminate that Shaman. Means that I cannot... Well, it doesn't really matter, because I can take anything I want, and I'm good. We see an end. Ouch! That was a fantastic play on my opponent's part, and that is going to shut me down entirely. No, maybe not. Maybe not. That Professor's Letter is going to help me out. My Charizard is going to go down here, but I do need a lot of support here. We see that we are going to be able to put up... We have to put up our Charizard. This is the end of the game here. If we win, we win. If we don't, well, that's it. We're going to get an Ultra Ball. That's not going to help us out. We have energies in the discard. I only have 1 energy left in this deck. With 10 cards left, though, I could easily try and get the turbos. Okay. We need to get both turbos. So I'm going to be able to go for a Trainer's Mail. I can land 1. No, I cannot land 1. Grab that Lysander. Not necessary. We're going to go for the Sycamore here. Ditch those cards. Come on, turbos. We got 1. We have another. Our last card is our turbo. This game was so close. So close. Unfortunately, I did have to mill myself in order to take out this Yveltal. Fantastic game, though. Fantastic game. My opponent did a fantastic job of dwindling me down to literally 1 card, and I have nothing left. So as soon as my turn hits, I am going to claim the Yveltal EX. It is going to do 30 damage to me. Due to resistance? No, to do less damage. Actually, Parallel City is really cool. I never thought of that. That is something that I could easily add to this deck. Reduces the damage onto it. He does not need to attack me. I will unfortunately go down just due to the fact of me not having a card. I had a Trainer's Mail, and that unfortunately cost me this game. My turn is just going to come up. I'm going to lose. Fantastic game to my opponent. Fortunately, it didn't work out in our favor. We did have a chance of coming back, though, because that good old Yveltal did not have a way to attack us in full force, so if I had one more turn, or I didn't have to Trainer's Mail, I would have had it. But with that, that is it for Mega Charizard. Please let me know what you guys thought of it. Maybe you guys can tweak it, maybe you guys can make it better, or maybe you have an entirely different build that you guys want to share. Leave those comments in the good old comment section below. I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. Tomorrow is going to be Meloetta Deck Wizard, as long as I can get the cards, because I haven't done that yet. But I'll catch you guys then, and then we have a full week of Theme Deck Corner and another deck for you next week. But until then, time out.